Right, well, welcome back to another video, or welcome if this is your first time seeing this. Today I'm going to be looking at a different artist, a recent artist for the Pokemon TCG, and I don't really know what I'm going to say, so I'm just going to make it up as I go along. This is an artist called Otumami, and she's been working in Pokemon. Her first card was this Clowetzer in Forbidden Light, so that was about what, 2018, 19, I don't know, back then, Sun and Moon era, and has done about 40 cards since. And her style is very enigmatic to me because it's not consistent. I was saying this on Twitter earlier in the week that it's in the same way that Fukuda confuses me, because sometimes Fukuda cards are like my favorite cards of all time, and a lot of Fukuda's cards I think are really just not my cup of tea, and I just don't even understand what he was trying to do. But the same is sort of true of Otumami here, in that there are some cards I think are brilliant here, and some that I think I would not even notice because they're just forgettable art. And it's that disparity of what I feel is the quality of the artwork, but also there's an inconsistency to the style as well, and that's not a bad thing at all. It shows range, but quite often, okay, let's try and look for some themes here. There's quite often a lot of chaos in her cards, so let's pick out some chaotic cards. We've got a couple here, so. There's lack of a direction to the action. It's all over the place. It's a splatter effect quite often. A lot of artists, when they're trying to do sense of action, will do there'll be a feeling of it moving in a direction, but with Otumami, she quite often will do a sense of chaos that's going on around the Pokemon. So there's that, but at the other end of the spectrum we have cards that are considered and calm. We've got this Lantern, for example. We've got Snubble. There's no chaos going on there. Or this Klefki. So yeah, I just don't get it. I don't get a handle on what her art style is, or my response to it. Because, as I say, there are cards here that I really, really love. So we're going to focus on them. Well, we'll go through the ones I've got here. I don't have all of her cards because she did about 5 shiny cards for Shiny Star V and Shiny Treasure EX, and there's a couple of promos as well that are expensive, that I haven't chased because I didn't like them enough. But I will probably get them at some point, but it's not a priority. And what I've got here is just Japanese prints of things, because I prefer, when I do my artists, if I'm not being an absolute outright completist like I am with Arita, then I will try to just keep it simple to one language, and I go for Japanese usually for my artist collections because I feel Japanese cards just feel more authentic. They're Japanese artists, they should be in Japanese. Unfortunately, this first one that we'll look at, Electrode, I can't get the Japanese print, which just seems bizarre because it came out in Rebellion Crash, which is Rebel Clash at the beginning of Sword and Shield. It's not a rare, it's an uncommon. But I'm struggling to find a copy of it in the UK in Japanese. Very, very weird. But I wanted it, so I got the English print for the time being, because I think it's really good. I mean, Electrode is a ball with a face on it. It's almost the same in every card. But this is very successful. I think that's very good. The Mighty Enna, there is actually a 4th print as well. There's another reverse. This is the Pokeballs reverse. Actually, I'm not going to talk about variants because this video is about the art. It's not about the release of the cards and stuff. I'm just looking at the particular artwork. This Cradley, I really like it. And Otumami, she sometimes she'll do outlines on things. Sometimes there won't be outlines. It'll be more loose and open and painterly. This has a feeling of almost Saito in its composition, but the painting style, it's got elements of the new school that people like Okacheke and are using. Well, you've got this as well. I mean, this is very simple. The very flat painting, the colours are a little bit Okacheke like. But I think this lantern is a particular strong card, which I just pulled it out, didn't I? Let's have another look at it. Why do I like that? I think that's just gentle, nice lighting, simple composition, really well executed card. Very, very impressed by that one. And actually this one, which is her most recent one, really, really impressed me. I mean, she's used digital manipulation, I assume, here to do the blurred out of focus background. Which almost makes it look like a photograph, or it could be a yukomori or something. But it's a really well done card. Works very well with as a holo. That's Brambleglass, obviously. And I loved this Heatmore, which was quite recent as well. I think it was from Ruler of the Black Flame. So the more recent cards she's done have really, really impressed me, which suggests that she's gaining confidence, or just getting better, or just attuning to my taste in painting. So something like this, or a choreo, I would probably, my eyes would just pass over it as something I'm not particularly interested in. There is too much chaos and spatter and confusion. Not enough clean form, and this sizer also, it looks a little bit sort of weedy and thin, with just a chaos in the background that suggests gravity has disappeared and everything has just looks like something of from another dimension. I really, really don't like this Cedra. I know somebody who does. I think the eye on this Cedra is just not, and on this gold duck, this sort of snake eye does not appeal to me. I do not like this Moltres. Let's bring this, actually we'll bring the camera down closer to the cards. That would work better. So there we go. The Moltres, yes, again chaos. And I just don't like it. Don't like the shape of Moltres' head, face, beak, any of that. The Zygarde, I really do like that, actually. Yeah, that's the non-holo version. There's also a holo version. I wasn't going to do versions. Anyway, there's the holo version, quickly. Then we have the Huntail, which I do like. That looks a bit Himeno, but it's not. Interesting choice of the colours in this. It looks like fireworks almost. The Croagunk's good. As I say, I don't like the gold duck. The Electrike. Oh, I can't get it out. This is too low. There we go. The Electrike is okay. Yeah. I love the Rhyhorn. I don't like the Klefki. I don't like the Heliolisk. The Snubbull. It's okay. It's a bit dull. It doesn't really do anything. Sorry, I'm moving this camera around all over the place. This is not very professional, but I'm not. I never am. The Nuzleaf, a little bit dull. Nothing much happening there. But a much more graphic style, and still chaos. Still a sense of chaos, but everything's got outlines, everything's flat colours. Again, the Quagsire is very, very derpy. Much again, quite graphic. Now this is more my thing. This Slugma, I think that's beautifully done. But even though it's got this sort of spattering of exploding magma. But that's that's a really nice little card. Well done. Don't particularly like her Kloitzer, which was her first one. And the Onyx is okay. It's a little bit boring. The Cubone, very good. Very, very good. Yeah, I like that a lot. But it doesn't fit in with much of the rest of it, the style-wise. Stands out as having a different approach to it. I have problems with anything that says Pokemon Go on it, because I just feel this logo ruins every card it touches. But the Golisopod is moderately good. Again, sense of chaos and disorder going on in that. This Tangela, I liked this Tangela. It was a sort of artwork that my eye passes by initially, but when I actually looked at it and properly examined it, it's a very well painted. Like the background especially, but the light on Tangela's vines, or whatever they are, very good. Yep, that gets my approval. We've got some other ones down here. We've got an Execute, a Weeping Bell, and a Snova, and it's okay. What am I missing there? I quite like the Northern Lights in the background. Got a bit of personality. It's not an earth-shattering card by any means. And then with the last three I've got over here, the Boldor, don't like it. No. Chaos again. Galvantula. Yeah, I actually do like that, and it's a Pokemon I don't particularly like. So that is pretty good art. And finally, the last one in the binder at the moment is this Heracross, which looks a bit sleepy. But I do like the tones of the background. Actually, I think the lighting's nice, interesting, but it's not an especially strong card. So the ones that I really like here are, I like the Slugma, I like the Cubone, I like the Tangela. I like the... I think the Rhyhorn's pretty good. And the Huntail. And then over here, these three are probably my favourite. Oh, and the Electrode. Yeah, I think the Electrode's just really strong. So these four would probably be my favourite four. This is just great. Really, really good. So there you go. That's a very strange video looking at the artwork of Otumami. Yet another new artist for the Pokemon TCG that I am sort of collecting.